Live to Perform, it's good to see you again, my friend. Saying, hey, I don't know what your opinion on this. Uh, in my sincere opinion, people shouldn't use performance-enhancing drugs if they haven't worked out for more than 10 years, haven't reached their genetic potential in strength and muscle. I would argue that most people never reach their genetic potential in strength and muscle. When it comes to whatever limitations we face in life, in able to build ourselves up as much as we can, most of the time you're running into either technical and proficiency limitations. So a lot of times people they haven't had coaching. They haven't been shown how to do an exercise properly. Like I was just saying, like most people cannot pack their shoulders very well. So that right there is going to be a huge hindrance in the development and safety of your upper body. Huge. Just that one thing. I could teach you how to pack your shoulders in 10 minutes, but most people just can't do it. So that's going to be a huge hindrance, just that one thing. You're going to be running into lifestyle limitations. In order to reach your genetic limits and your potential, you have to basically live for that stuff. I'm talking quit your job, hire a team of coaches kind of level of commitment. Most people will never reach their genetic potential. The other thing is just a motivation issue too. Like, to get to that up 1% of what you can do, that takes so many resources and so much energy that for most people, it's simply not worth doing. I mean, I sure have, I could tell you right now, I have no interest in ever coming close to my genetic potential just because I have other things I want to do in life. I run the Red Delta Project. I do things like mountain biking and martial arts and stuff. There's a lot more to my life than just trying to reach a genetic ceiling of how much muscle and strength I can build. And the amount of time and the sacrifice it's going to take, no thanks. I have no interest in that. So I hear what you're saying, the performance enhancing drugs. I think a lot of people, they think they're reaching their genetic potential, but really it's the limitations of other things that they have. And many times I think they're trying to circumvent those limitations more or less than just saying, okay, I'm fine, with where I'm at. Now let me try and get more of what I want without having to make more inroads in these other areas of my life. Personally, I just don't trust them. I just don't trust drugs and stuff like that. Now, I have nothing against them. If someone, it's a very different story. If I was a professional athlete and someone's like, dude, you take these drugs and you get to play for another 5 years and make another $30 million and stuff, I'm like, yeah, sign me up for sure. Or it could be the difference. I used to know a gentleman who was an aspiring track and field Olympian, or he wanted to be an Olympian. And he dedicated his whole life to getting as much as he could. And he got to a certain level and his coach was like, that's as far as you're going to go without drugs. So if you want to fulfill your dream of becoming an Olympic athlete, you're going to have to start using drugs. And he was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And so that's as far as he went. So I understand the temptations. And some people, it's certainly worth the cost. But I've also run into more than a few people who would be in the gym or they'd be on the floor of like a equipment conference. And I'm looking at their photo, like back in their heyday as a bodybuilder. And I'm like, wow, that's a really impressive physique. And then I look at them and I'm like, my truck driving uncle has a better physique than you do. Like, what in the world happened there? Like, I know that's like 10 years difference, but you went from holy smokes, that's awesome, to what the heck, what? And he's like, yeah, well, you go off the drugs. That's what goes on. I'm like, oh God, no. Again, I'm not interested in playing the short game of I can be amazing for 5 years and then it's a street downhill for the rest of my life. No, thank you. I want to have pretty damn good results throughout my entire life. And if I'm going to have trouble maintaining that, I'm not interested in it. It's that simple.